The overall claim we will be evaluating is that safe and legal abortion is helpful to mothers who are financially unstable, allowing them to make their own medical choices. To help in answering this question, we will evaluate the many arguments that attempt to answer this question. A common reason women choose to abort their child is because of the financial strain it causes. This said, we will evaluate the argument that abortion should be legal to help defend mothers in poor financial situations. Secondly, we will address the argument that although a mother may not be able to support her child, there are adoption clinics available to anyone not in position to support a child. Thirdly, we will address the issue that adoption clinics are not large enough to support the rate of children being brought into the world. Therefore, not every mother will have that opportunity. Overall, we will be looking at adoption and the harms and benefits that arise from it, especially for mothers choosing abortion.
Wait, I feel like we should pause it. Abortion should be legal because women should have the right to abort what is in their own body. Women that aren't pregnant have the right to their own body and what medically happens to them. Nothing should change when they conceive a child. It is in their own body, so it's their own choice. And if people are allowed to refuse surgeries and medical advice, then that shouldn't change due to a woman having a child. And then women should have the equality that everyone else has, which is a whole nother debate about gender equality. Women should also be able to financially support their children or child. If a child is conceived at a very young age and the mother of that child is not financially stable to raise the child, then they should be able to choose whether or not they should have the child. Women can self-assess and realize that a child will not have a good life whenever they are being raised. And as we look, about 25 million children have to live through single mothers until they're 18, as well as 400,000 children in foster care live in the United States.
Yes, I agree that women should have the rights to their own body, but I also believe that the fetus should have a right to its own body, as I do believe the fetus is a human. The problem with this is just thinking, what will we define a human as? But we can't define a human as anything short of having human genetic code, which a fetus does. In history, if we defined anything short of having human genetic code, it leads to social injustice such as racism and the Holocaust. As people were saying, other humans weren't actually human, because instead of including everybody, you were excluding some people. So I think for this argument, you have to think of the fetus as a human. I also disagree with the financial standpoint, as there are many institutions such as adoption clinics that can take the burden of raising a child off the mother's hands. I think that instead of legalizing abortion, we need to put more emphasis on resources that can help women in unplanned pregnancies so that we can protect the rights of the woman's body as well as the unborn fetus, because it is a human and all humans should have equal rights.
Good argument.
I agree with Tait that abortion has no place in modern society where adoption clinics exist. In the state of Texas, putting a child up for adoption is completely free of cost, and all adoption and pregnancy-related expenses that might occur onto that mother will be paid for by the state. Meanwhile, the cost of abortion will come out of the mother's own pocket and will cost from anywhere from $500 to $2,500 and is psychologically taxing on the mother. A study conducted in 2011 found that 1/3 of women who go through with abortions have a psychological side effect, which could range anywhere from depressions to anxieties to thinking that they'll never be able to conceive again. Adoption relieves that psychological burden of abortion, as in an ideal adoption, it takes them into a family that will care for and love the child as if it was their own instead of an abortion. Adoption should be promoted as a much better alternative, as it relieves both the financial and psychological burdens of an expecting mother.
First, I'm going to counter the idea of the financial burden on the mother of an abortion. If the mother does choose to keep this child, and say the mother does not have a full-time job yet or is not yet done with her career path choice, it will definitely put the family in poverty, and like Dylan had said on earlier about the 25 million children with single moms, and I'm sure a good majority of them are not flourishing and live in poverty. And I believe that abortion, although it's somewhat costly, I believe that the debt the parents will be in if they choose to try and take care of a child for 18 years when they know that they can't will be significantly greater. I also believe that while adoption clinics do exist, there is a definite crisis here in Texas, considering that abortion is now banned throughout the state, and there's accounts of hundreds of children sleeping on floors of offices, hotels, and this can definitely be psychologically taxing for the child. And who's to say that, although they could get adopted, who's to say that the foster home that they will be placed in will be caring, will be just an overall good environment for the child. That is also a chance that they are taking for the safety of the children. Children who are placed into adoption clinics and foster care are significantly greater at risk of violence and experiencing a traumatic event that could change their life.
As we looked at the rights of both the mother and the child, we addressed why abortion should be legal and the morality of whether abortion should be right or wrong. We concluded that women should be able to have rights over their own body, and that even though abortion may not be the best option, it is necessary for women who are financially unstable and are in an emotionally distressing environment. We also discussed resources that prevented abortion, such as adoption and the need for more resources to aid women going through unplanned pregnancies. Even though there are resources available that seem as alternatives, they do not support the rate of children being brought into this world, and many clinics have flawed systems that negatively affect children's physical or emotional well-being. Overall, we can see that abortion is legalized because women have a right to their own body. It helps defend mothers in poor financial situations, and systems that are supposed to prevent abortion in the United States fail to give resources and support for all women and children in need. We should allow women to make their own medical choices and their own financial decisions.